What is going on, everybody? Jonathan here with Andrew Cooper. Welcome into Alarm Fantasy Football. It is Thursday, Coop. We have an NFL game being played later on this evening. Tennessee Titans going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers who kick off NFL Week 9. My dude, how we doing?
I'm doing great, man. Although there is a rumor floating around right now, a dangerous rumor, John. I'll give you the facts first. The facts are that one of my favorite sweatshirts is missing. Right now, the rumor.
Do we think the dog has it?
Well, that's the thing. Not the dog, but but maybe because we don't know where it is. But the rumor floating around is that the last person that was wearing my sweatshirt before we went missing was my wife.
Oh no!
So, I'm telling you, it's dangerous.
We both know, known her for a very long time.
That's right.
That sweatshirt could be anywhere.
It could be
literally
anywhere,
be on a neighbor's lawn,
attic,
in the backyard, in the
I've
car.
searched. We're getting to the points where I'm searching some crazy spots because I know it's possible. It's entirely possible. So, shout out to the chat and Dunn hanging out.
Ani
Coop in the chat. Shout out Coop. What's up, dude? Ani Coop's Rams. Just when we thought they might be turning around, thumb injury for Matthew Stafford. So tough breaks for Ani Coop.
Sprain in the throwing hand there for Stafford. I haven't seen him officially ruled out yet. Is he officially out for this week, or are they still kind of taking it a little day by day?
Still up in the air on that one. Waiting to see what happens there. But they got turned down by John Wolford, which I found interesting. Wolford, familiar with the Rams organization, they reached out to him from the practice squad of the Bucs. And when you sign a player from another team's practice squad, you can't sign them to your practice squad. You can only sign them to the active roster. So they offered him a spot on the 53-man roster, and John Wolford said no.
Which is a better payday, right?
Better payday, yeah. Now, then the Vikings turned around and made him an offer, and that's when the Buccaneers actually said, hey, you know what? We'll give you a spot on our roster. Right. So this whole situation has caused John Wolford, even though, probably not in actual competition for Baker Mayfield's job, or maybe he thinks he is, and that's why he's staying, but kind of crazy that he got a spot on an active roster because of all these injuries. So kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's one of the things we talk about with these NFL contracts, right? Teams think they can stash a guy, but as soon as other teams start sniffing around here, they have to make those commitments or risk losing the player. So at least for this week, right, John Wolford will get an active roster spot. Now, he'll have to be put through waivers, I think, right, if they want to go ahead and send him back down onto their practice squad. We've seen that happen many times. The Patriots gave Malik Cunningham like a 3-year deal, and then the next week they got him from their roster spot. So, really anything is possible, is what Kevin Garnett told us when it comes to NFL teams, organizations, player personnel decisions. We always say follow the money, but that isn't always really indicative of what ownership and management will end up doing with a player.
I'll tell you right now, we got a question in the chat already from Ann Dunn. And here's a good example. Miles Sanders got paid a ton of money, seemingly healthy. So I don't know if he's healthy or not, or what's going on there. But, I mean, he hardly played. He only played 12 snaps. Chuba Hubbard, who's been there the whole time. Chuba Hubbard, a player that when they traded Christian McCaffrey, they could have used Chuba. And instead they went out and grabbed Donta Foreman, who ran for over 900 yards, right? Then they pay Miles Sanders, bring him in. Sanders gets healthy coming out of the bye. And it's Chuba Hubbard. So I don't know, man. Right now, Miles Sanders, I'm a Miles Sanders fan personally, but you can't start him right now unless we see him get more than 12 snaps. So it's still Latavius Murray. And still Latavius Murray. Leonard Fournette is not even going to play this week. I think he's just going to stay on the practice squad, get up to speed. So Latavius Murray is a better bet than Miles Sanders, as crazy as that sounds.
It is. It's wild, right? I mean, there's a lot of situations like that. And last week, I think it was a few instances. We had the Miles Sanders, but then we had Jerome Ford, who was supposed to be out 1 to 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden on Thursday, he's out there doing, the rope drills and oh my God, they're impressed with how quickly he's come back and he's looking great and he's doing that. He gets 1 carry for -1 yard. It's a Kareem Hunt day like it was supposed to be all along. But it really threw a loop for a lot of fantasy football managers, DFS players, because we went from all in on Kareem Hunt at his DK price tag, and then all of a sudden in starting lineups, then Ford is active. We're like, oh, well, we can't trust Hunt.
Crazy, man.
If you have Ford, he went from your bench probably into your starting lineup, tanked a whole bunch of teams here. So we're once again getting kind of killed here a little bit on coach speak. I don't know if you saw this, Coop, but there's actually an X account out there that rates the how truthful coaches are. I followed it. I got to go find what the actual account is, but basically they take how truthful you can a coach is in their press conferences and whether or not you can trust what they say based off the information they give on players. You know, Shanahan's basically the bottom of the scale, and then like another player's up at the top.
First of all, don't say X. It's Twitter.
Wow.
I'm saying Twitter. I'm not saying X. I'm sorry, but find me that account because I want to see it, because there are definitely some coaches. I'll tell you one that probably, I know he was fired, but towards the top of the truthful ones, Cliff Kingsbury used to straight up just kind of tell us what he was doing.
Right.
He would just tell us what's going on. You know what I mean? Whereas, you know, Bill Belichick's probably a not available, right? Like he doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything. So he's like, it doesn't matter what he says because none of it can be true or not if you just don't say anything at all.
I've handled dozens of balls.
Thank you, Ryan Burns. Yeah. So, you know, and, you know, also, you know, with the Brian Burns quote, that quote, gotta love and respect Brian Burns. That's another one where it's just not true.
I have nothing but the highest regard for Brian Burns.
See, that's one that's not true. You don't have to love and respect Brian.
Right. Let's get our take here before we do answer some of these questions in chat. I see all of you guys in there. You know, we'll get to these questions here today, but let's talk a little Thursday night football here, Coop. We got Titans Steelers. I got Will Levis making his not his first start, I don't think, right? He started last week, or was it Willis who started? Regardless, we're getting a start here from Will Levis here on Thursday night football, going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers here, unsure on the Kenny Pickett health and, you know, how we think this game is going to break out. I was not looking forward to this game, but at least now that we have Will Levis here, so this game becomes at least a bit more intriguing.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I've talked about this in the past where there's two varieties of quote unquote bad quarterback. And we don't even know if Levis is good or bad. So he could even be good. You know, you never know. Like, what if this guy pulls a Deshaun Watson as a rookie and he's just awesome, right? Yeah. But there's two varieties of bad quarterback. There's bad that's like boring to watch, like Mac Jones and Zach Wilson. Like, it's just painful to watch. And then there's bad quarterbacks that are fun to watch. Like Sam Howell, say what you will about him. And in fantasy football, he's actually been pretty good. But like, he's scrambling around. He's trying to make stuff happen. He's leading the league in sacks. But like, it's at least fun to watch. Joshua Dobbs, his willingness to run, all that stuff, that's fun. And Will Levis falls into my comp for him is Jay Cutler, a guy that's just willing to go back foot, chuck it up for grabs. Yeah. Who cares? Like, we saw it this week and it worked out a bunch, but there were definitely some throws there, John, where I was like, that is dangerous.
And Will Levis goes out there and looks like Gardner Minshew did during his rookie season when like Minshew Mania was kind of like popping off a little bit, where like our perception of Gardner Minshew during his rookie year was that he was good. Really wasn't, but he was just fun to watch, right? Like, exactly. And he had good games, and he was sort of like a throwback gunslinger type of quarterback there on a bad team here. And
Blake Bortles. Remember Blake Bortles? Like, that was like that team was terrible. That team was terrible, and there's a reason they were getting into so much garbage time. But the garbage time was fun, and Allen Robinson had 1,400 yards. So
that's what I'm hopeful for. I'm hoping for that now. Will Levis brings some sort of value to these wide receivers where there was none. DeAndre Hopkins had 3 touchdowns last week. He was the number 2 wide receiver in fantasy football. I don't anticipate that happening every game here now, but like, if D-Hop has an actual quarterback that can just fire a ball 110 miles an hour at him, like, he might be able to catch some of these things instead of these weak-armed lollipops that, you know, Tannehill was chucking out to him here. You know, like, there's maybe some potential. Chikakonko, you talked about it. He dropped the pass that would have had him going for a large gain there, made his day look a lot better. We have Treylon Burks. Like, maybe this passing offense gets a boost now that they have a guy that just has an arm. You know, the arm talent will show up a little bit here.
Yeah, killing me, dude. Killing me. I went, the first thing I did was I went to go look at the interception lines, the props. Kenny Pickett over, you know, they always set it at 0.5, right? Kenny Pickett's at plus 100. So just even. That's kind of a decent bet. Will Levis, you got to pay out the nose to bet on a Will Levis interception.
Like minus 190?
Minus 150, which is, but 190 probably sounds about right. Like, this is how, you know, bad it is with the Huck It Chuck It, is that I look at minus 150 and I think to myself, I might do that.
On the road against Pittsburgh, I would guarantee probably interception coming. We'll talk some underdog pick and plays in a little bit. I got one here that I'm going to throw out to the folks that I immediately was kind of eyeing today just on the general sports books, and it's available on Underdog as well. So when we get and give out our underdog plays of the day, I'll have one. We got Bender's. He still gave us one, though he's off handling some big business per usual. Then you got a play for us here as well for our underdog segment here. Any other stories, headlines, things you're looking at when it comes to Thursday Night Football here?
For tonight, I mean, you know what? Like a lot of things are settled and there's a lot still up in the air. That's why I love the Will Levis news because it's so up in the air.
Yeah.
But like we know what the deal is with Derrick Henry and Tajay Spears, right? It's like good game, Henry. If they're playing from behind, it's Spears. We know what the deal is with the running backs with the Steelers. And we'll talk a little bit more about. I mean, Connor Hayward is a kind of a guy that if you're struggling at tight end, you might be able to use him. Chiggs looked kind of interesting, but
so let's answer those questions then. I guess if you have DeAndre Hopkins today, you're starting him, correct?
Yes.
If you have Chigakonkwo, are you starting him today?
Probably not, but I mean it's such a brutal.
Where does Chig rank today this week for you? I obviously should have had your rankings pulled up already.
I'm final. He's in like the back end tight end 2 range. Like he's still not like anything super special. There are a lot of bye weeks though, so probably more towards mid. But I'm going to post those on my Twitter after the show.
Right. And that's a big general question. Obviously, a lot of people probably in chat being like, "Well, I only have Chigakonkwo on my team, and if not, I have to go pick up Mike Gesicki." It's like, well, yeah, then you're going to play Chigakonkwo here tonight. So relative to your team, but do you think that Chig has value even as a back end tight end here?
I'm putting him in DFS lineups tonight, showdown slate lineups. And I mean, he's definitely ahead of any team, like same with Connor Hayward too. These guys at least are playing the whole game. So any team that's splitting the tight end snaps, I'm out on. So those guys are ahead of any tight end on the Seahawks, any tight end on, like the Bengals with Irv Smith. It's like, I look at guys like Cade Otton and Connor Hayward and Chigakonkwo, and they're at least playing virtually the whole game. So you got to get those guys in ahead of. I'm starting them ahead of pretty much any tight end on the Chargers. I'm not waiting around on Gerald Everett. I'm not starting Donald Parham. So you could do worse. Obviously, the Patriots, the way they're doing things, Hunter Henry hasn't run more than like 50% of the routes.
Pharaoh Brown was in like concussion protocol or something like that. So.
There's 4 more routes available for somebody.
There's some potential. 4 routes, but he gets 4 targets. So when he's on the field for whatever reason, it's because teams don't think about
Nobody
it.
covers.
We have to start. Yeah. We have to make sure we cover Hunter Henry and Mike Gesicki in these 3 tight end sets, and Farrah's over there doing jumping jacks by himself on the sideline and burning the Jets for 80 yards. Everybody's wondering what the hell happened. So looking like Pickett. We was talking about Pickett's full participant, so going to be in that lineup. I just saw a tweet that went out there that Kenny Pickett hasn't completed only once has he completed more than 18 passes in any game this season. But Tennessee's pass defense is one of the worst in football. How confident are you in tonight in this Steelers passing offense?
I mean, I'm starting in any sort of PPR. I'm starting Deontay Johnson, right? So he's got 140 targets 3 years in a row. That's not by accident. Last week he finally was back up to speed, got a ton of targets. So I'm getting him in there. The question is, if it's like a half PPR or standard, do you trust George Pickens, John? I mean, like he's been okay, but I don't know. I don't know if he's with Deontay Johnson back. Is he going to still get like 8-9 targets?
I mean, definitely not probably that target share, but I don't think they should completely go away from him. He did find the end zone at least last week. Save fantasy managers there. There was a 30-yard touchdown he got or something like that.
22.
So, so he's still going to be the big play guy, which I think has always kind of been his natural role in that offense, where because the style of offense that Matt Canada runs and the fact that we still aren't really sold on Pickett as a viable starting quarterback yet in the NFL. These underneath routes, these easier opportunities to throw the football to Deontay are just going to be there. With George Pickens, what do we talk about a lot as well, Coop? These downfield guys, quarterback needs time for these routes to develop. So if the offensive line isn't able to protect Pickett long enough for Pickens to get open, or if Kenny Pickett just doesn't have the poise and composure in a pocket to sort of wait out George Pickens' route there to get open, then he's just hot routing himself to Hayward or hot rodding himself to Deontay Johnson. The running backs each got 6 targets last week. You pointed out on the Quick Out show there. So, that could be the detriment to George Pickens here right now, is the fact that Pickett may not just be patient enough to let him work his route.
Right. And that's the thing, is he needs those chunk plays. He's a great best ball player. You go through and look at the games, obviously he had the 71-yard touchdown, but in the games where he does well, he rips off a big chunk play. So, he has 100 yards, but week 7, he had 107 yards. 31 of them came on one play. Right. And then the other game, he had a 41-yard catch. The other good game he had a 32-yard catch. So 75 yards, 32 comes on one play. So half his yards on one play. In the games where he doesn't look well, he doesn't put up good numbers, 5 receptions, but his longest play is 9 yards. So he only has 36 yards. That's the deal with this guy. He's kind of like, you need to hit on the chunk play when it happens. Kind of like Mike Williams, John Dotson, George Pickens, put them all in the same bucket. So, but yeah, that's about it for tonight for me. And again, we're going to hit on some underdog stuff in a little bit. So we'll give you some plays to make tonight. But why don't we see what's going on in the chat today, John?
Yeah, we got a lot of people popping in. We've said hi to a lot of you already. Let's just jump into the questions here. And Dunn, tight ends, and Scott Fishbowl. Waller, Chig, Gesicki. Want to know which direction we're going here tonight, Coop?
Yeah, I have Chig around like tight
Waller
end.
already ruled out too, by the way, and so you're on a Chig Gesicki call.
Yeah, I have there's a whole group of guys I mentioned them, like Luke Musgrave and Connor Hayward and all those guys. I have Chig probably around like tight end 15 or so. So put Chig in there. Waller's definitely out. Gesicki only played 15 snaps. He did run 12 routes, but like last week they just, after the Max Crosby block,
Yeah.
right, where they scored they had the safety. They basically said no more blocking for you, Michael. Like, and now he just,
you can't even chip this guy, so
No.
we're good.
Right. Yeah, he only blocked. Yeah, they was in for 3 run plays. The rest were all pass plays. So and 12 routes out of 37. So I'm just not trusting that. So
I know, we were also excited for the dual tight end coming into the year, but just hasn't been the case. And with a follow-up question, Miles Sanders or Latavius Murray in PPR?
I hit that one when we were talking about Murray, at Latavius Murray's guy.
Let's see. Boyd or Burks for Ann?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. I mean, T. Higgins hasn't been up to speed, so Boyd has been running more routes than Higgins, but that's obviously going to go back to normal at some point. But Burks isn't really up to speed either. I think I'm just going to go Boyd, play it safe.
Yeah, that's fine. Go Boyd. FFPC, she's got Shaheed, Cook, Samuel, and Chig. She needs 2 of them, so tight end premium for this spot here.
Yeah. Curtis Samuel, he's got like a foot injury, and he actually left last game, and Jamison Crowder came in and got a bunch of targets.
Yeah.
So, yeah, kind of interesting there. You can't go away from Shaheed right now. He's too explosive. And I think I would probably start Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, I think Cooks is where I'm going to go. The Shaheed problem is that it's, again, a guy that needs to catch the 60-yard pass.
He has to.
He's got a 0 because they don't cover him that often. But he went 3 for 3 for 160 yards or whatever it was last week. So
right, if they don't get that, that's the exact example. Like, he's the extreme example. He's basically like Deshaun Jackson. Like, it's like if he hits on it, he hits on it. But he only played 18 snaps, John. Like, all the other guys, Olave and Michael Thomas played 50, 60 snaps. He played 18.
People like him this week in DFS because of his recent production, and they're going against the Bears. But that is the big boomer bust play. You roster him because they bumped his price tag up on DraftKings. He and Michael Thomas are like only a couple $100 apart. So,
right. That's full PPR format. So I'd probably actually go Michael Thomas there.
Yeah,
but Shaheed is like he's the best ball king, right?
100%. Ethan here. Lance Waller needs a replacement. Chig, Musgrave, Parham, Everett, Auden, or Conklin.
No Parham, Everett, or Conklin. The Cade Auden played. They dropped back to pass 53 times last week, and Cade Auden ran 50 routes.
Yeah,
he has 6 targets in back-to-back weeks. But when you go back and watch it, like I went back and I was like, let me see how this kind of went down. A lot of Auden's work was just at the end of the game. They were out of it, desperation. They were just kind of like dumping it down to him to try and get in place for the Hail Mary. So like it really wasn't a good game. So I have Musgrave ahead right now, then Chig, then Auden, but I don't really trust Musgrave.
That's why we always say you got to check the box score, not just the box scores, but check the game play by play. I was talking with somebody in our Discord. They were asking about Darrington Evans' value. Like, oh, he played like 25% of offensive snaps. It's like, no. Go look at it. He played the entire fourth quarter because they were down 30.
Right.
That's where all of his plays and snaps came from. He had the touchdown in the second quarter, but that was his second play of the day, and he basically didn't get on the field again until the end of that day. So, definitely sometimes you got to go back and actually check the play-by-play logs to see when these guys got on the field.
Right. I think I would go Chig, man. Just go upside, the unknown upside, high risk, high reward. If you really just want to play it safe as possible, then go Luke Musgrave. Pretty good matchup versus
Hal saying every bad team should have Bortles or Fitzmagic type quarterback. I agree.
Yeah.
Fitzmagic won games, right? Like the teams that were supposed to be bad, he was out there actually.
Yeah, Fitzmagic might be too good. Yeah, he's too good. But you want I mean, if you're gonna be bad, if you're gonna be bad, at least be entertaining. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Give me Bortles.
Chaka with a question here, a long-term season question. Has Kamara, Hall, Javonte, Kyron, 8-Chain, Moss, and Hendo at running back? Good running back. Wilson, Thielen, Olave, Ridley, Sutton at wide receiver, and Andrews is tight end. He wants to know, should he look to upgrade from Dak at his QB position? So would you trade, I guess, wide receivers or running backs in a package to upgrade off Dak? How confident are you in Dak? The last two games from Dak have been great. He had that big game against the Rams. Against the Chargers, he was aided by that rushing touchdown. But honestly, Michael Gallup dropped probably what could have been 2 more touchdown passes had he held him down. So, would you be looking to upgrade from the Dak position at quarterback for him?
With a team like that, I think you'd be all right with Dak. I wouldn't trade anybody that's going to touch your starting lineup. So you look at Kamara, Hall, Javonte. I would I don't know if I would trade one of Kyron or
Chain's super interesting when he's eligible to come back, I think, at next week.
Right.
And they have Wilson, they have Mostert, but Chain obviously was incredibly explosive. So we'll see how they use that 3-headed monster there, because it is a Shanahan theoried offense. So you never know. They ride the hot hand there.
Yeah. I mean, if you can get all the way up to like a Mahomes or a Jalen Hurts, then maybe I would trade a Kyron Williams or an Achane. But I don't know if you can get away with trading like Moss or
the quarterback position this year, Coop. This is what's kind of been frustrating, I think, for a lot of people, that if you didn't grab a Jalen Hurts, Mahomes, even like some weeks Lamar Jackson's like, Josh Allen has been, like I guess 2 has been more consistent than the others. Most quarterbacks this year are really just giving you 15 fantasy points. Nobody's really running away, it seems like, when it comes to fantasy production this year. So, Dak is probably fine. Unless you get blown away by an offer from somebody, then I wouldn't be looking necessarily to move. It's a 3 wide receiver league too, so you're starting 3 of those wide receivers.
Yeah, you can't move a wide receiver.
You need 2 running backs. It's all a little tough to move.
Yeah, it's tough to make those moves. If you can do it with like Moss or Hendo plus Dak for a slight upgrade, then go for it. But I mean, you've got to be fine. You're fine with the team you have.
Agreed. And like, what's the other quarterback that team would have that they'd be willing to give up? There's a lot of questions that need to be answered there. Paul wants to know: have you ever done a 3-way trade?
Only in Dynasty I have. In Dynasty I have, where it's like it makes a lot more sense in Dynasty, where you'll have teams that have picks but no good players to trade. And then you do like a trade that where it goes here, and then this guy gets the picks, and this guy gets the players. But in redraft, I've never. I mean,
it happens in real sports, so I don't imagine why it can't be done in fantasy if you guys can all work it out correctly.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Joshua says he's holding sweatshirts and ransom for the Giants offense.
Get that. So that's where my sweatshirt is. The Hamburglar got it, dude.
Yeah, got it for you. And with another question: 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. Deontay Johnson, Pickens, Rashee Rice, Nico, Higgins, Kincaid, and a PPR, not tight end premium though, Coop.
Not tight end premiums. 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. I'm definitely starting Deontay.
Yeah.
I would probably just start Deontay and pick. Oh wow.
No, Deontay and probably Rashee, right?
Yeah, and Rice. Yeah, he led the team in snaps for the first time.
He should have had a touchdown.
Should have had a touchdown. Yeah. He also dropped one right in his hands too. So Rashee Rice should have had a huge day.
Gabe the Babe wants to know what our showdown lineup is tonight. Gabe, I'll tell you this: come back tonight, 7:00 Eastern time. Myself and Coop will be back here live, 7:00 Eastern, for our Thursday night football showdown breakdown. So we'll have our showdown lineups available. I haven't started building out a showdown lineup quite yet, so I don't have that for you. It's probably going to have some semblance of either Deontay Johnson or the Steelers defense as a captain, but we'll see how that all goes for me. But again, come back at 7. We'll be back live here to break all of that goodness down for y'all. Ethan, I think we answered this one. Maybe we didn't. He lost Waller. Needs Chig, Musgrave, Parnham. I feel like we did this one, no?
Yeah, I think we did. I think I would
Give
go
him
with.
an answer.
I would go with Chig.
Okay.
I'm going Chig tonight.
Chig of that group. Brandon here wants to know: Mixon, Robinson, Swift, Kamara, Jones needs to sit 2 of them.
I'm gonna sit Brian Robinson. I'm definitely starting Mixon, Swift, and I'm just gonna start Mixon,
I'm
Swift,
sit
and
Jones,
Kamara.
I think, because he still hasn't been 100%.
Not quite, yeah. So Mixon, Swift, and Kamara. I mean, they've been so good, you can't really go away from them.
Freddie, would you trade Mostert and Evans for Pollard and Higgins?
That's tough because like Pollard has been getting all the work, but he's been fairly inefficient. And then Mostert, yeah, right. You have to do 3rd and 1s now. No more Zeke to do the dirty work. But I do worry with Mostert, like with Achane coming back and the injury history. He's 31 years old, so I think I would go Pollard.
I probably still do this deal, but I think I obviously like Mike Evans more than Higgins, but I think I would do that deal. Burrow's looking good here. So
what's driving the deal? Because it seems like a fairly even trade. Like, none of those players are on bye this week? Why? Like, what's the narrative behind the deal, Freddie?
Yeah, we had this one the other day too, right? Wide receiver for wide receiver, running back for running back. It's like, where's the angle? What's the improvements there? I guess. Stu Cat here. Thoughts on playing Deontay and Steelers defense tonight? Yeah, I just said Deontay and Steelers D are probably going to be part of my captain rotation on some lineups tonight. Just thinking that Levis gets sacked and throw some picks and whatnot there. So yeah, no problems for me there. Yeah. Joshua K. Got a super flex question for us, Scoop. Would you start Pickens tonight, or wait on Ford or Murray if he returns for the flex spot?
I'm going to start Pickens over Ford. I'm just going to start Pickens.
Yeah, I'm not going to wait. Kyler Murray returning against Cleveland doesn't sound all that great either. So
no.
Paul wants to stream a D. Giants against the Raiders, Vegas versus the Giants, or Green Bay versus the Minnesota. Who's Green Bay got this week?
Green Bay has the Rams.
Atlanta. No, wait. Green Bay has Rams.
I mean,
it could be what? Stetson Bennett starting? Who's going to play for the Rams?
No, Bennett's hurt too, dude. Yeah, so I don't know. I think I would. I like
Green Bay at home here.
I like that idea. I think I'm going to go Green Bay. In my rankings, I have Green Bay the highest of these.
Yeah, Green Bay works, Paul. That works.
Yep.
Hale in a PPR, Najee, Pierce, or Roshan needs to play 2 of them. Probably sitting Pierce here.
Yeah, I said Pierce.
Miles.
Pierce can go up against Vita
Vea. What are we doing here?
What's
the question? Hey guys, 12-team PPR.
Oh, trades.
It's a trade. Okay, wait.
Trade Jacobs for DJ Moore and Robinson.
Got it. He was giving up his team, and then the trade was blowing. I was seeing so many names, I was getting confused. Trade Jacobs for DJ Moore and Robinson, then trade Robinson and JJ for Kamara. I mean, I've been on the team trade Justin Jefferson this entire time, so
yeah,
I would definitely rather get Kamara. The problem is that Charbonnet is not guaranteed to play. I mean, they're obviously, you saw more snaps this week, but there's no guarantee that continues.
If you really boil the trade down, this is what it is, John. He's trading away Josh Jacobs and Justin Jefferson, and he's going to end up with DJ Moore, Kamara, and Charbonnet. And I think that I do that.
Yeah, I do that. Again, I will trade injured players this entire time. But now that there's no Cousins.
We know, John. We know you will trade the injured players away.
DJ Moore or Rice?
DJ Moore or Rice this week?
Yeah, I'm going to go Rice for me.
Rice, yeah. Agent, man.
But yeah, I can't trust the bad man. Should I be looking to trade Bijan in a bundle for an RB1? I have Kamara and Mixon already. I mean, it depends what you can get, man. If you can get a good RB1 back, that's fine. But obviously playing Bijan, Kamara, and Mixon aren't awful for you either. Kamara is a stud. Bijan's been good. He just hasn't been what we all thought he would be. And Mixon, I think with a healthy Burrow, could start coming around. That team starts scoring more points because Burrow's healthy, Mixon's going to start scoring more points. So.
Right. And Bijan plays a ton of snaps. He runs a ton of routes. And we don't know. Taylor Heineke might just be the kind of guy that throws it to Bijan a ton. You never know, man. So this change could be a good thing for Bijan, Pitts, everybody. So I don't know. I think I would just hang with what you have.
Yep. Trade Jefferson, Goddard, and Monty for Kelsey and Pollard. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That works for me.
Especially if you've got 3, 4, 5 losses, you can't sit around waiting for Jefferson and Monty while your season ends.
Nope. But if Pierce doesn't play this week, what's Singletary's flex value? I like Singletary. He catches the ball. They run the ball. They're not a good running team, but I don't mind if they're home against Tampa this week. Would you start him, I guess, over Nico or Amari? So Amari Cooper versus the Cardinals, though? That's not terrible.
That's what I'm doing. I'm not starting Singletary against Vita Vea and the boys if I can just start Amari Cooper.
Yep, I agree with you there. What do you do with Saquon? What did you do, Saquon and Mike Evans for ETN?
No, it's too much. ETN's awesome, but Saquon's still pretty good.
Yeah, that offense is so bad, unfortunately.
Yeah. It all depends. Like if Mike, with these questions, like is Mike Evans, is your team so stacked that you don't even start Mike Evans? If that's the case, then do it. But like who you plugging into your lineup when you trade Mike? Oh, there it is. I still got Hill, St. Brown, Myers, and Hopkins. Well, in that case, I think I would do it. I think I would do it because you have a ton of wide receivers. You might even start Mike Evans. So yeah, do the trade. Yeah, thank you.
I get ATN. A lot of
you provided the context.
Coming that way.
You provided the context.
We always say give us the full information, and then we only read half the question.
That was 100% my fault. He did give us the information. I was like, Freddie, you got to tell us. I was like, you did tell us
everything you need.
Sorry, Freddie. That's all me, Freddie. You done good.
Stu wants kicker rankings. We have kicker rankings on site.
Yeah, we do. I ranked the kickers.
Yeah, go check out Coot's weekly rankings. If you're not a member of the Fantasy Learn family, those two, which I think you are, then you don't get them. But
I do the rankings, and then I actually, when our friend Linda Godfrey,
you do the rankings, and you just kind of like peek at what Linda's got.
I thought I would peek at what Linda does, and if I don't like just copy her rankings, but if she has somebody like much hot, like if I'm way off what she's doing, I'll bump some guys up and down a little bit because she is just so amazing at it that like I'll do my own, and I disagree with her from time to time. Like there are definitely weeks where she'll have like guys like Justin Tucker. I'm always going to rank high because there's a lot of leagues where people get like bonus points for 50-yard field goals, and they routinely wheel that guy out for big kicks.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'll always have him high. Sometimes she doesn't, but I always check in with her to see what she's doing. But yeah, Fantasy Alarm, go over there. I rank every position: quarterback, kicker, defense, and then for running back, tight end, and wide receiver, we rank them all, and we also break it down. For full PPR, half PPR, standard. It takes me all day on Tuesday, John. So definitely check that stuff out because I spend a lot of time and effort getting that up there for you guys.
Yeah, 100%. Go check it all out there as well. Let's see. What was our next question?
Justin.
What was it? Justin. Here we go. Yep. 5-3, 12-team PPR got Waller and Debo on the IR. Would you trade away Deontay for Logan and Hollywood? To complete the question, he has Logan and Njoku on his team as well. So he would have 3 tight ends, I guess.
No, I don't think I would. I think I would keep Deontay and just start Njoku. Njoku's been pretty solid, and he gets the Cardinals this week, so it's another good start for him. And Njoku's already had his bye week. So I actually feel pretty good about Njoku. Logan Thomas, the shines kind of come off him a little bit. He's not playing all the snaps like he was before. And now Jahan Dotson is getting targets. The real secret sauce for Logan Thomas was that Jahan Dotson they weren't even throwing to him. Right. So it was just McLaurin and Logan, and then Curtis Samuel would get a couple targets and get a couple carries. Right. But the carries supplementing the Curtis Samuel business was great for Logan because carries don't affect him. Right. So that was the secret. But now that Jahan Dotson's in the mix, it's really thin. It's hard to like guys like Logan and Luke Musgrave that we once trusted. Now that there's another guy in the mix, Christian Watson back, obviously for the Packers, those guys, I've had to peel them back a little bit.
Sure. We got our guy with a question. Would you buy Jacobs with the intent of flipping him? Jacobs at the last time when Aiden O'Connell had 130 yards and a touchdown with 8 catches.
8 catches.
Absolute PPR lava. Feels like we will see the same. So my questioning here is, we know Aiden O'Connell has been named the team's starting quarterback. Why would you trade the flip if he's going to be giving you this kind of production? Just trade to play, right?
Right. Maybe it's a dynasty arbitrage move where you're like, where you think the value is going to go up, so you trade for the guy. It's not a bad theory. It's not a bad theory, but you obviously, when you do a trade like that, you have to be content with Jacobs. So like trade because you want to have Jacobs on your team. And then if his value skyrockets and you can flip him, great. But if you trade for this guy, just know that you might get stuck.
You're also going to have an impossible time trading him if on Sunday he goes for 130 and gives you 24 fantasy points. And you're like, oh, maybe he's really, really good, and you're
Right.
you're
Then
playing
your
the
mind,
flip.
yeah.
If your idea was like, I'll trade a wide receiver and a running back to get Jacobs, and now you're down on wide receivers because you always meant to flip Jacobs. You might be cut yourself in a little bit of hard spot there.
Just make sure only trade for guys you actually like, and if you can flip them, great. But the last thing you want to do is trade for guys that you don't actually want on your team.
Yeah, Chris pointing out a good point here too. Again, going through reading the full question, rather sell high on Hopkins than ship Evans for no reason. I mean, you have to have the other owner want Hopkins part of the deal. So,
right.
I would agree with you. Sell high on Hopkins if you can, but if that guy's like, odds are Hopkins isn't getting 32 fantasy points again, can't obviously sell it up. It is a dynasty. You follow that up with a few fridges later. So,
yeah, and it's also not necessarily for no reason because Travis Etienne, as of late, has been the second best running back in fantasy football, right behind Christian McCaffrey, as of late. Like Raheem Mostert technically has more points, on the season, but I mean, not in PPR. Etienne's been the second best running back.
Yeah, it's 7 touchdowns, something like that.
I think that's exactly right, John. Actually, no, 8 if you count receiving. Yeah,
true.
Receiving.
It's true. I mean, this is just like I don't know. Would you rather have Monty or Gibbs rest of season? So Monty was running away with the job. Jahmyr Gibbs looks like the guy that went, 13th overall and absolutely lighting it up. So
I think. Well, what about Mr. Don't Trade for Hurt Players, John Pemba?
Would you rather? Is this are you trading for Monty? Do you have Monty? Like, what's the? I guess
he's not on waivers, so it's got to be a trade. I think I would rather have Gibbs.
I would rather. That's what I'm saying. I feel like I would rather have Gibbs, but rest of the season we know Monty is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what happens when he comes back, Coop? Do you think that they've seen enough of Jahmyr Gibbs? Like, okay, like this dude can be our every down running back. He is lighting it up. He can't go back to playing 20% of offensive snaps, right?
No, he can't. So it's going to be a split. I think I'd still rather have Gibbs.
I would rather have Gibbs. So that passing game work is elite.
Yeah.
Antonio Lopez dropped one for a kicker. JSN or Tajay?
Now, Antonio, do you play on Yahoo or Sleeper? And check the settings. On Yahoo and Sleeper, sometimes you can actually drop players from your bench after they've played. If that's a possibility, then I would just wait until after the game tonight and see if Derrick Henry gets hurt. And if he doesn't, drop Tajay Spears. If players lock on your team when they play, then I would drop Tajay Spears right before the game. I would wait till right before the game and drop Tajay Spears for a kicker, and then nobody can pick him up, and then he'll lock on waivers, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I would do. But check your settings, see if you can get away with that. Because if you can wait, you can get the best of both worlds on like my big hometown league on Yahoo has that setting where you can watch a guy play and then drop him from your bench and he's not locked. So check this.
I had that happen on a sleeper league, and the league went wild. I had an IR. I had Jamal Williams in my IR. He got activated. He played, and then sleeper wouldn't let me put anybody in my. I had like buy still. They wouldn't let me set my lineup until I moved Jamal Williams off IR. But since he played, I couldn't put him on my active roster. They would only let me drop him. Wow, so dude. I dropped him from IR just so I could set my lineup. And people were like, how are you dropping people that already played? I was like, I don't know, man. Sleeper let me do it. They wouldn't let me set my lineup, so blame them.
Well, it was a controversial thing for a while. But here's the thing. Now, both sites added a button that the commissioner can click to turn that on or off, right? So now, to me, there's no controversy about it at all because if it's on, then it's the part of the rules, and if it's not on, then it's not part.
They let me do it. I can't tell you
exactly. That's
Josh
it. No more controversy.
Super flex half PPR trade T-Law and Swift for Barkley, Olave, Godwin, or Barkley and ASRB. I would trade Barkley, Olave, and Godwin probably.
Right? To get if they all go into your starting lineup, then yes.
Yeah.
If you're
benching a wide receiver still, then I'm not saying that, but
yep.
The whole of Olave and Godwin and Barkley is a better deal talent wise.
For sure.
Is this finishing off this question here?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's saying there's so much here.
Break off dogs. Chase. It's only 2 wide receiver league. If it's a 2 wide receiver league with a flex, then then trade
But
for.
again, I'm not St. Brown then. That's
Yes,
fine.
yes, yes,
You
yes.
don't need to, unless the idea is trading that, making that move, and then flipping one of the other wide receivers. But like,
Just get Amon-Ra St. Brown. If you only start 2 wide receivers in those leagues, man, it's crazy how easy it is to get wideouts.
He added more players to this. So drop Jason, Tashi, Tajay, Rice, or Charbonnet. If you,
I'm going to drop Tajay.
Still going to drop Tajay for me as
Yep.
well. Derek in a 10 team half PBR. Send Olave Mostert for JJ Aaron Jones. I continue to say no. I do not want to trade for injured players. We don't know if Justin Jefferson's even coming back. And Chris Olave is averaging 13 targets a game over the last 4 weeks. So why would we move on from Chris Olave here?
Right. No, yeah, he's getting the targets. He'll come around, man.
Yeah.
More often than not, those guys start producing. They don't stop getting the football thrown to them.
Yeah. Somebody just moved Hurts and Olave for Burrow and Puka. Who wins? Probably Burrow and Puka, but it's close. I don't know.
Just congratulations to just figuring out a very.
I guess
trade.
Stafford being injured gives me the lean for Hurts and Olave here, I guess.
Yeah, true. But I mean, it just, yeah. I think that's the difference maker. But it's just a very even trade. So I mean, I don't know.
Rex is giving us a forewarning. He's working on all of his questions, but he's letting us know that all of his questions are 12-team PPR Superflex. So we look forward to your pending questions here.
Right. And just everybody know that I know we only have like another 15-20 minutes here, but we are doing another show tonight, 7 to 8 p.m. right on this very channel, leading into the game. We're going to hit on all the questions there. So if we don't get questions today, we'll get to them tonight.
Like and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't done so already. Definitely helps us get more eyes on what the content we do. That gives us the ability to do more. If we continue to grow this channel, it affords us opportunities to add, grow, get more specific, maybe do some more individualized content for all of you guys there as well. And I'll just throw this out here now because this is the final week for this deal. If you haven't already become a member of the Fantasy Star family, right now you can become an annual subscriber for less than $16 a month for that first year. If you go check out our month-to-month price, it's almost $40 a month. So scan the QR code or go to fantasystime.com/lock. Use promo code LOCK at checkout for the annual subscription package. It's $100 off. It's less than $200 for the year. And you get access to every premium piece of content we do on site. Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, PGA, MMA, NASCAR, you name it. If it's behind a paywall, you get access to it, which includes next year's fantasy football draft guide because it's a year around. It would end the beginning of next November. So if you want your free fantasy football draft guide for next season, you sign up today. You get access to our premium Discord where you can always talk to Coop. You can always talk to myself. Howard Bender's in there. James Grande, Colby Conway, Justin Vreeland, Darren Servadidio, the whole crew in there answering your questions. So, again, if you're not yet a member of the Fantasy Storm family, scan the QR code on the screen or go to fantasystorm.com/lock. Use promo code LOCK to get in there today. Guys, we'll go back to answering your questions in a moment here, but we do want to give a shout out to our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. Right now, a $500 deposit match is being offered for new users. So go to fantasystorm.com/underdog, use promo code ALARM at checkout, or scan the QR code here on the screen. You get a 100% deposit match up to $500. That is a ridiculous deposit match that they are offering you right now.
And you know why it's an even better day to sign up for Underdog, John?
Why is that, Coop?
Because it's my dog's birthday. It's Lufa's birthday today. Burns, you got that picture of Lufa, so everyone can check it out. So yeah, it's a day for the dogs. It's a day for the underdogs. That's me as an alien, and nice with the borders, Burns. You're the best, dude. But yes, that's Lufa as an astronaut. It's her birthday today, so in honor of Lufa, we're gonna give you guys some underdog plays that you can use tonight. Yeah, let's go. And use that promo code ALARM. They'll give you $500, up to $500 when you deposit up to 500. You don't have to do 500. You could do 100. But here's the thing: we're going to give you some of their pick'em plays right now.
Right.
But it's the same money that you use to do the best ball drafts and everything. It's the same website, so you're going to use that $500. When I signed up, it was only 100. So if I could go back and get 500 right now,
when I signed up, listen, I signed up for Underdog back basically when it started, and all they gave me was a free $25 entry to their best ball million. So I would have gladly taken the $500 deposit match here, and instantly flip that one. All right, let's get to our underdog plays of the day here for the folks here. Again, right now they have a featured prop available on site for tonight's Thursday night football game. The freebie here, Derrick Henry over under half a yard. I think they limit you to a $10 or $20 pick 'em play on this one here, but still, you can go up and you can add up to many picks as you want here to 20x your money on this slate here. So if you want to go throw I think it's 5 or 6 picks together with tonight's Derrick Henry over under half a yard, which has gone under twice this season.
Which is insane, bro. That's insane. It was Aaron
Rodgers and Bijan Robinson both went under the half a yard projection.
Wild, bro.
You can lock yourself in a chance to 20x your money tonight. So that's the freebie they got going on over at Underdog Fantasy. But Coop, give me your favorite underdog pick 'em play for tonight.
Yeah, so we've been doing on these Thursday ones, we've been crushing the tackle monsters, right? So what we do is we pick a player and we go out and we say, okay, this is our guy. We're going to watch him all game. Every time he gets a tackle, we're going to go crazy. And it's been so much fun. We've hit 5 out of 6. So I've been looking at it and I was like, I picked this player out last week. I was like so ready for this game, and it's Aziz Al-Shahir. And I was going to use him because I'm like, this guy's getting 15 combined tackles, 11 underdogs onto us. They set him at 10.
Yeah,
so I'm actually not going to do that one. I'm not going to do that one. We're going to go with TJ Watt. TJ Watt is set at 2 solo tackles. I'm going higher on that. In recent games, he's been kind of just getting 2, right? But he hasn't really been getting to the quarterback the way he usually does. If you sack the quarterback, that's a solo tackle, right? Yeah. Then all he has to do is make a couple tackles on run plays. Historically, when you look at this guy, like the year he had 22.5 sacks, blah, 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 he was getting 3, 4, 5 tackles a game. I know he's a pass rusher, so he's not really in the mix in that situation, but this is such a fun player to watch and root for. I think he's going to get more than 2, so I'm going to go higher on that, John. And that'll be a fun one when he gets him because he is a monster. And usually they're there you go, Burns. Get the higher sound effect going. Yeah, it's usually a sack or a tackle for loss, so they're fun plays. So we'll go TJ Watt. And then let's get wild, baby. So, John, what do you got for yours?
Yeah, I'll give you mine, and then we'll give you what Bender gave us for his as well, because I really like Bender's tonight. In conjunction with yours, I'm going to go with the Will Levis higher than 2.5 sacks tonight.
Oh, okay.
So he's going to get sacked at least 3 times. He was sacked twice in his start last week against Atlanta. We know Pittsburgh gets after the quarterback here. So I'm with you here, Coop. I'm going to go more than 2.5 sacks here this evening for Will Levis. I think Pittsburgh gets to the quarterback tonight for sure.
Ooh, yeah, that's a nice little combo action. And you have to do one player from each team. You can't just do all guys on the same team. So that's nice. It basically gives us if our guy comes out and has a couple sacks, TJ Watt has a couple sacks on Will Levis, then I mean we're just like doubling up our money. And I think if you get all and we'll give you Howard Bender's as well. If you do all 4 of them, I think it 10x is your money. So
yeah, I'm trying to see right now. Let's see. Sometimes they don't let you. Okay, it looks like they're going to let you do that. Sometimes they don't let you do like a quarterback versus a defensive player, but see, they haven't put anything up there saying I can yet. So we'll see if that one works. But if not, still a play that I like here tonight. Bender's, I think, feels like a free square. Bender's favorite play here this evening is Deontay Johnson, higher than 57.5 receiving yards. Again, this is a guy the last 2 games since he's come back, 5 for 79 and 8 for 85. Now we're going against one of the worst pass defenses in football in the Tennessee Titans here. Plenty of targets, I think, are going Deontay Johnson's way this evening. Love this pick for Bender, 57.5. This one feels like a freebie, too, that they're not really forcing you to limit your wager on. So loving the Deontay Johnson call here.
Yeah, 10x is your dough. And the thing is, they on their site, they have the number of targets at 8.5, right? So they're saying he's going to get 8.5 targets, but he's not going to get 60 yards. Come on now. I mean, it doesn't even add up, right?
I agree.
So I'd much rather go with the yards on that one because the targets, if he gets 9 targets, he's going to have the yards. So yeah, that's an easy one. Go check that out now. Use promo code ALARM. Again, right now, I'm not sure how long this is going to go on for, but this is the best promo that I've seen for these guys. Up to $500, dude.
Yeah.
You drop a deposit 500, they give you 1,000.
You deposit 500, they give you 1,000. And then you can use that money just like regular cash. There's no real restrictions to it. Obviously, you can't withdraw it, but if you win, you can withdraw. So Now is definitely the time to go check all that cool stuff out over at Underdog Fantasy. Cool. Let's get back to some of the questions here. I know our chat's piling up, and I know we only got a couple of minutes left. But as we said, guys, everybody, we're going to be giving live back here at 7 o'clock Eastern time, breaking down Thursday Night Football and answering your start sit questions there as well. So don't worry if we don't get you here tonight. And if you do have questions and we don't answer them and you're a member of the Fantasy Star family, get in the Discord. Go to the Fantasy Star Discord. We're in there answering your questions there as well. So where did we leave off our questions with here?
We were Rex just told us he was going to load up a bunch of questions. So we're on Dylan Fink.
Made a big move for Diggs, Goddard, for Etienne, Hawkinson, Devonta. I like it.
Love it. Yeah.
Love that.
You got bailed out by, Joshua Dobbs. Like, he just threw 14 passes to Trey McBride. He's going to throw the ball to TJ Hawkinson. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
So I'm way less worried for TJ Hawkinson than I am for Addison and JJ and Osborne. That's my thoughts.
I'm full on agreement with you there. Let's see. Sports Spotlight wants to know.
He also has ETN and CMC now. So you have the RB1 and RB2.
Yeah, he's legit. Trade away Kyron and Kirk for Taylor Atwell. I would not do that deal.
No. I worry about
Atwell is like well down on the depth chart now with Cooper and Nakua, and if Stafford's hurt, I don't think I want to do that one. Trade Jacobs for Mostert and Flowers.
Yeah, for sure. If you're going to start Mostert and Flowers, then I would do it.
Yeah, I don't mind that one at all. Would I trade away? We did this one already. So he has A-Chain on his bench too. So he would trade Jacobs for Mostert and Flowers. He also has A-Chain.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. All right, Rex's question here, first one. 12 team Superflex PPR. Need 2 to start. Starting Pickens already. Needs Palmer, Dubs, Douglas, and Kincaid are the other options. Would you start any of those guys over Pickens and Addison?
No. I'm really scared for Josh Palmer this week. This Jets team, their corners don't go inside the slot. So Keenan Allen's going to be fine, but Josh Palmer is going to he's going to have either Sauce Gardner or DJ Reed on him all day long. That's kind of a tough spot for Palmer.
I agree. How did Mayer do with O'Connor last time? I don't think
he didn't have the job yet, really. Or when did O'Connell has a start?
I think it was his second. I think his second game was with Mayer.
Okay.
Oh, the second game. His second main game was with O'Connell.
Let's pull it up, dude. We don't need to speculate. I have access to a computer right now. You're right. So the first game he hadn't had the gig yet. The second game was the game where O'Connell only completed like 10 passes, though.
Yeah.
So nobody did good.
Probably not great initially. Not looking to start Mayer.
He didn't do anything. He had 2 catches for 13 yards.
It's also, we don't know what this is going to look like. It's a new offensive coordinator, a new head coach, a new quarterback. Who knows what their offensive philosophy is going to be? We knew Josh McDaniels, liked to run a certain style of play here. That's all changing probably now. So,
in the second game, Jimmy G played. Hoyer played most of that game. The second game. So yeah, it's hard to say.
Can't decide who to put in this package: Jefferson, Goddard, Monty, Gibbs for Kelsey and Pollard. I have both and can't decide. What's the
out of Monty and Gibbs? Oh, that's why that's the Monty and Gibbs question. Yeah. If you can trade Jefferson, Goddard, and Monty, then I would do that. And and then have Kelsey, Pollard, and Gibbs.
Great. Bryce wants to know here, and again, we got to get out of here in a couple minutes. Start at a flex, Deontay or Amari? I'm going to go Deontay.
Deontay. We like Deontay.
Timothy wants to know starting Wilson, Pittman, White, Cook. Would you change any of them for Brown, Collins? So Garrett Wilson, Michael Pittman, Collins, or Brown?
I might swap James Cook out for Nico Collins. I'm not starting Marquise Brown with Clayton Tune.
Does Bellinger get a bump with no Waller to go back to being relevant here?
He does get a bump from being. He gets a bump from the shadow realm where he was living into being a back end. Right now Bellinger, I I see why he wouldn't be any different than like Irv Smith. He's better than any of the Seahawks options. He's better than any. He played like 67 snaps, so I'm going to put him ahead of all the Seahawks, all the Colts, probably. You know what I mean? But like we're talking, you got to be in some weird formats to be using Bellinger.
We got a question. Would you trade Jacobs, JT, and Olave for Gibbs, CeeDee Lamb, and James Conner? Again, I don't love the trade for injured players, but I love CeeDee Lamb. So
right. And James Conner, he's never been bad. He's only been hurt, right? So when he's healthy, he's good.
I still probably lean. I guess it all depends on how bad you need.
Yeah.
You're trading 2 healthy running backs. I don't think I am. No, I'm going to say no. I'm going to take Jacobs and JT there. I like that.
Twitch gang in the chat. Where the hell's the Twitch gang been, dude?
We had we had a TTV in here, but they were coming from YouTube. Hunt and Hubbard for RB2. Which one you got?
Hubbard. Yeah, Hubbard's playing like the whole game. Yeah. Go with Hubbard.
London, Dotson, or Addison for flex. Half PPR.
You can't start Addison with Jaron Hall, man. I don't know what that's going to look like.
London, do we know if London's healthy enough to get out of here? I mean, that's a big question. If London can go, London. If not, go Dotson.
Right. If London's not playing, then we don't have a question to answer.
Yep.
You know.
Would you trade Pollard and Addison to get Kamara? I would.
Yeah. Yep. Kamara's awesome.
Yep.
Kamara in his career, it's crazy. If you put the stats of Kamara right next to Christian McCaffrey, they're about the same.
Alvin was our Twitch game fan. He asked the same question. We're gonna go Hubbard and London if he's in. If not, Dotson. Mm-hmm. But Rex, Jones or Levis? Gotta go Levis.
Levis, yeah.
Moss or Hendo?
I don't even need to ask which Jones either. Levis is just more fun.
Moss or Hendo?
Hendo.
Need 3. Myers, Moore, Metcalf, Davis, or Palmer? Metcalf in.
Metcalf in. No Palmer.
Myers probably in.
Myers in.
And then it's Davis, Moore, or Palmer here. Palmer played last week, so
I think Palmer, dude. No, Palmer's bad matchup, man. Bad matchup. He's going to be seeing Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed the whole game. I think I would go Gabe Davis, honestly.
Okay.
DJ Moore with Tyson Badgett. Yeah, Badgett, man.
Yeah, you can't play Moore. No, I agree. Got a happy birthday. Lufa. Rex would follow up here. Need 2. Rice, Palmer, Osborne, Douglas, or Kincaid. Need 2.
I kind of like Pop Douglas there. And I think I'll go Pop Douglas and Kincaid, John.
Yeah, that works for me. All right, let's rapid fire these because we got a minute. So trade Jalen Waddle and Montgomery for Jonathan Taylor.
No.
We got need 2. Davis, Madison, Dell. Sit Madison probably there, right?
Yeah, sit Madison, Davis, and Dell.
Alvin, we answered that one. Britt Flynn letting us know London wasn't at practice, so looking like a
Britt is always so plugged in. She's the best. Thank you, Britt. So I mean, if London's a go, then get him in there. Otherwise, don't worry about it.
Yep. All right, guys, that's the show here for today. Again, get in the Fantasy on Discord if you're not already, and if you're not a member, what are you waiting for? Scan the QR code here on the screen, or go to fantasy.com/lock. Use promo code LOCK to take advantage of today's offer. Coop and I will be back live 7:00 Eastern. You'll see me all day. I'm on the Better Sports Betting Show today at 4. I'm on the NBA DFS show today at 5, and I'll be back for the Thursday Night Football game here at 7. Till then, we'll catch you later. Have fun. Good luck. See you then. Good luck in Week 9. Talk to you guys later.